everyone. My name is Ellisa Cooper, and this is Cooking in Quarantine. So today I am here in the kitchen getting ready for the excitement that I think is shared kind of around the country that tomorrow is the premiere of Hamilton on Disney+. So I'm having a little watch party among my some people in my my COVID bubble. And so I am going to start to prep up for what we're going to cook. So I'm going to I started thinking about what to make, and I realized that there really is nothing more appropriate to serve at your Hamilton watch party than a rum-based cocktail, because sugar and rum were absolutely central to the colonial economy in our country. Of course, if you want to drink a glass of wine, I would never tell you no. But this might be a good opportunity to have a rosé. But that said, I'm going to make a rum drink. So here's my list of things to do to prepare, because especially for a watch party, I don't want to be in the kitchen. I want everything to be laid out and ready to go. People can come in, make themselves food when they want, pour themselves a new drink when they want, because it's all going to be laid out and ready to go. So, the first thing I'm going to do is make a spicy mayo. And I'm going to make a spicy mayo that's really quite loose, because I don't want it to spread. I want it to drizzle and be kind of the garnish of my tacos. So, I have put a little mayo here into this little jar, and I'm going to introduce some super spicy here, and put habanero pepper sauce in here, and I'm going to put 3 or 4 hearty good shakes in here, and I'm also going to add a little bit of spicy hot paprika. Just a couple. It's not going to be as hot as cayenne would be, so that's just giving you a different level of flavor. And then I'm going to see what my fat and spice ratio feels like here. Let's see. It can use a little more spice. There's just a little bit more spice. This is the kind of spice I like. It's in the back of the throat, not in the front of the mouth. And then I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of cider vinegar in here, because that then is going to make this the kind of consistency that it will drip and onto the top of the tacos, right? So here we go. And look how simple that was. Now we have spicy mayonnaise for our tacos. I am going to use this. I have a little Renegade Silk over here. So get this cleaned up here along the edges so that this looks pretty. And bada bang, bada bang. Check 1 off the list. This will just go in the fridge. And look, I put it in a cute little mason jar, so it's beautiful. And that's all we need to know. It is a little slick and greasy, so let's give that a nice wipe off. And then we can put these things away because we've finished with that. There we go. And so what are we going to do next? Next on my list is slaw. All right then, let's get moving on the slaw. So the slaw is really very simple. I have already here a nice clean piece of half a head of cabbage. I have a couple of peeled carrots here, and I can take the ends off of here. There we go. And off of here. Beautiful. Hello to whomever is here. Hello, Denise. Hello, hello. I'm glad to see that you are here and not working too hard today. So here we are. Now I am going to add to my slaw a little jalapeno. So we'll do that though in just a minute. So I'm just going to put this on my box grater and get those little bits of carrot rocking here. I am so pleased with this box grater that handsome boyfriend sent to me some time ago. It has made my life 1,000-fold easier. And here we go. Another piece that looks like lunch there. I'm afraid I'm going to tear the skin off my knuckles if I'm not careful here. That's why I'm slowing down. Oh, cool. So that looks like about, a nice cup. Sorry for the mouthful. And so here now we've got this. And I think that we can just cut this with the knife. But what fun is that when you can get out the mandolin? And so, here's this. I'm going to open it just to 1.5 and see what that starts giving me. Oh, that's a little too little. I'm going to go to 3. Beautiful. Just little bits here. I'm going to turn that and get those little bits to go down sideways, and hopefully I will not lose a finger or a fingernail. Speaking of which, I'm very, very excited. I know that a lot of you have heard that indoor dining isn't going to start in New York. We're going to be still outside, so I was very excited to learn that we're going to open some salons on Monday. So I have a trip to the threading ladies so I can get my eyebrows, and not to be vulgar, but I can also have some lady issues taken care of as well. A little down below, shall we say. And I'm very, very excited about that. So now here I've got my beautiful carrot and my beautiful cabbage here together. This is really nice. And I'm going to take half of this jalapeno here, and I'm going to take the seeds out because I don't want it to set anyone on fire. That's what the habanero is for. Now this I am going to set on tiny, just the smallest setting, and then I'm just going to let that go right in there. Long ways, so that you're still getting, so people can see what they're getting, right? So if you don't want this, or you're afraid of jalapenos, you don't have to worry. You can easily see that it's going to bring some nice color to this, which I like. Beautiful. And the heat. I love heat, because especially when you're having something like, I'm going to fry in a beer batter little bits of fish for this, for the tacos. That fat makes it so much easier to adapt to the heat in your spicy stuff. So here's this, and here's this, and we're going to need to make a little dressing for this as well. So let me see what's happening here. I wish that someone would, like in Ina Garden's Life, come in here, and while you're not watching, just come and clean up right in under me. That would make my life so much happier. But I don't know how to do that because I'm not magic like Ina is. So next, we're going to make a little dressing for our slaw, and it's very similar to what we made with the other when we made the spicy mayo a second ago. So mayo's fine because it's good. It's cooling. I ran out of Hellman's, and so I'm using this Sir Kensington's avocado oil mayonnaise, which is really tasty. Some was recommended to me, and I thought it was terrific. So here's what I'm going to do here. This calls for a little bit of sugar. I'm not going to put very much sugar in it at all because I don't like sweet, what am I calling this stuff? Slaw. And we're going to put a little cider vinegar in here. And then for the slaw, the recipe I looked at called for, what am I calling this? Called for celery seed in this. And I think maybe we might do that. So let's put a little celery seed in here. Perfect. And then I'm also going to put just a tiny bit of coriander in here. Not a lot, just a little. And you'll see where we're coming here in a minute with this. And then I'm going to shake this up. Let's see if it needs any salt or pepper in here too. Now see, even that tiniest little bit of sugar made this, I feel like, too sweet. So, you know what I do when it's too sweet? Make it spicy. Right, so a little cayenne will cut the sweetness there. And now, I think it'll be a little better. Immeasurably so. So I'm going to let this chill before I put it onto the slaw. But certainly by morning, I'll toss this creamy into the slaw so that that can sit at least for 6-12 hours before we go to eat it. So what's next on our prep parade? Next on our prep parade is that I could not find any avocados that were soft. So I have these 2 avocados, which were the ripest, like fast and loose. I have them in this brown paper bag, praying that they will actually become soft enough to use by tomorrow. And I've just realized that I've had the air conditioner on all the time, and thank goodness for all that opera training, or you probably couldn't have heard a word I said over the loud buzzing. So I apologize, guys. You know, not being here for the last couple of days has kind of thrown me off my game. So, So now, if you remember, I've made guacamole before, and I do my friend Vicky's super simple, fast and easy. Take Bermuda onion and slice it into it. Just mince it up tiny. Put salt on those onions. Let them sweat. As soon as they sweat out, mash in your avocado. So simple, so simple. A little lime juice, a little lemon juice. Either way, couldn't be easier. So that's a 2-minute fix, and maybe tomorrow I'll get lucky and run across a ripe avocado or 2 if these aren't quite ready to go. So next. So now, since we're having tacos, and we'll have the pieces of fried fish, we'll have a little of the slaw on top of that. I thought we might need a little bit of a side salad, if you will. And so I'm going to make a version of my famous black bean and corn salad. So I already have gotten a can of organic beans. I've rinsed them really, really well down in here. And then we're going to go here, and I'm going to cut up some of these scallions here that I have. Can you see these? Let's see. I gotta come back this way. There you go. And take off the greens, which I will save for later. And then I'm gonna run down each one of these, and we're gonna give this a chop. I probably could have put something down, but I guess this is a cutting board top. And there we go. So get these into nice little bits. This small, I don't need to say too small, but when you get them nice and small, then you've got lots of surface area, lots of area for the nice flavorful, juicy wateriness of the scallion to come out and to get into the beans and all of the deliciousness that's going in this batch over here. And so this is just going to be like a little side salad. It also is really great like a relish, and put it on top of it, of salad greens with any kind of a vinaigrette. Since I already have this other jalapeno over here, I'm going to pop over here. I'm sure that someone's thinking, Alyssa, you're going to cut your hand off, and that is probably the truth. So here I'm going to do these in super thins, and then I'm going to take these and make these into little bitty tiny bites. And I don't think that this is a crazy hot jalapeno. I don't get the sense of it. It smells very green to me. So here we go. And see, little tiny bites. That way people who are afraid of heat don't get overwhelmed by it, right? But you know, you guys have been cooking with me now. I just posted my 75th video yesterday on, pardon me, on YouTube yesterday. So by now you know that I like it spicy. I like flavor. And here we go. So a little bit of this. And now we're going to add a little red bell pepper also. This is the kind of salad that would be great just on the side. But if somebody wanted to stick that into their taco shell, it's not going to be bad at all, I promise. So let me just cut some of this out. And watch me reach down here and get what I should have had here on this all along. So again, just a quick, I had already washed these in case anybody's concerned about our long-term health and well-being. So just a couple of quick, we're going to do the same thing basically to the bell pepper that we did to the jalapeno and get it into kind of small bites. And this is beautiful. It just brings a lot of pop of color. And of course a little sweet flavor here. And it works. Sometimes cutting through the skin is harder than it seems it should be on something like a bell pepper. And excellent. Here we are. So get the bell peppers in here. And then we have another little treat over here. I just brought some water up to hot. And I've had it sitting here mostly just to let the silks kind of float out. Now the other one is most likely going to be my lunch today because, oh, how I love a corn on the cob. I can't even tell you. So let me grab this. I started to wipe my face because it's suddenly so hot in here, but I'll try not to use that to do this. So here we go, and I'm going to just cut this off. When I was a kid, putting up corn day was my favorite day of the summer because I love it when these little books of corn stick together. I could eat them all day long. So good. Corn on the cob is maybe one of the greatest blessings of life. And I still have some jalapeno lime butter in the fridge from the last corn on the cob that I made. There we go. And I'm going to get all that milk out. I am burning my hands up. There we go. Now I'm not going to put this straight in because this is still quite hot, but that's going to go in there. And then I'm going to make a little vinaigrette to dress this. Normally I would make just a lime vinaigrette and I would put tons of cilantro in this, but I decided not to do that today, mostly because I don't have any cilantro in the house. So instead, I'm going to make a little vinaigrette here. And this vinaigrette is going to be very simply a little olive oil, which clearly I need to fill my olive oil container back up. So let's reach down here and get the backup olive oil. Hang on. Excellent. Backup. And there we go. There's a little, that's probably a little more than we need, but salad dressing doesn't go to waste in my house. So we're going to do this, and then I would like to juice a lime to go in here for my acid. This needs loosening up. Do I have a looser one? I have a much looser one. Here we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do after this, which I will not make you sit and watch me do, but really the only thing that I have left here to do to prepare for tomorrow's little fete is to juice a bunch of limes and lemons and let them sit with sugar because I don't want to make simple syrup. I'd rather just let my sugar dissolve in the acid overnight, so that when it comes time to start making cocktails tomorrow, then that base is ready to go. And like I said, what is better to serve on Hamilton night than a rum-based cocktail? Rum and sugar central to the colonial trades. And so that's what we're having today, and that's what inspired the taco. So here we go, and I'm going to take this, give this a cut. No seeds. I'm just going to give that a starter juice here. Let me move this over here, maybe where y'all can see it instead of hidden back there. I'm going to just give that a juice, and then this a juice. Here we go. Oh, yes. And then tomorrow I'll make a beer batter. So beer batter, I've learned, is very, very simple. It's flour and beer. And then we will batter those my little fish fillets. I'll fry them into my cast iron, and I'll have little bits of beautiful fleshy white fish and a nice browned crusty beer battery yumminess. We'll have the nice corn and black bean salad on the side, and the slaw to top off the taco, along with the super spicy mayonnaise. So that's really, I think, going to be an extraordinary dinner tomorrow. I'll make a few big, beautiful pitchers of daiquiri, so that all we have to do is put them right out in a pitcher with an ice bucket out, so people can re-up their ice. So I'm going to coriander and cumin. So here's the coriander. Coriander, if you don't use it a lot, always smell it. It's so beautiful and floral. We're going to put a little pepper. And I'm not going to put any hot pepper in here because I put a little jalapeno in the salad. And then this is going to go in for another shake. Boom. Let's give this a taste. That's delicious, but it needs a little bit more of our coriander and our cumin and our garlic. Just a little bit more, not a whole lot. There we go. The lime was a little bit more predominant than I really wanted it to be. And I still might go out tomorrow and get a little cilantro and chop up a little cilantro. But just in case I don't get there. There we go. Now let's see. Oh. Yum. All right. So now that this corn has cooled off, I can stick that right in here. And this is a salad that you definitely want it to have as much time as you can to marinate around. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to splooge some of it right here on right now. And take this and give it a good turn, because I want all of these flavors to meld together. And it is just absolutely lovely. Look at all the color. Isn't it beautiful in there? This is, I'll never forget the summer that my nephew turned 3, I think. He got one of those sticks like you skewer to put shrimp on the Barbie. And he was going in here and he was poking one bean and eating it. One bit of corn and eating it. He ate on that salad all night long. It was adorable. And nothing makes me happier than when I make complex things and little children love them too. So that's a great, great, great thing, I think, when kids like your food. So here we go, guys. Pardon me. So bean and corn salad, slaw, and spicy mayonnaise. And then all I have left to do tomorrow is make cocktail base and fry up the fish. bada bing, bada bang. I have both corn and flour tortillas, but I think that this is going to be better with a flour tortilla. So that's all I know today, guys. I think we've gotten it all covered. Let's see who's come here to visit. We have Rosemary live from Canada. And wasn't it Canada Day earlier this week? So happy Canada Day. And then, let's see, Carolyn Joe, how are you? I'm going to say that I did see something while I was standing in line at the market this morning. And it turns out that Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, has been arrested. And I would like to go on record and say that I predict that in the same way that Jeffrey Epstein was disappeared by Mossad, I think we can expect the same thing to happen to her. So do expect that she will either strike a deal and disappear forever, or she will die under suspicious circumstances in the next 6 weeks. Thank you, boys and girls. Those are my predictions for today. Hello, Olivier. How are you? One of these days, I'm going to come back uptown again. Who else is here? How's Cindy and Denise and Nancy? How are you? So, guys, thank you all. I thank you all for being here with me every day. And I guess it's a good time for me right now to tell you that I am officially beginning my summer schedule. Yesterday, I spent the whole afternoon yesterday and the day before trying to get caught up with uploading videos from here to YouTube. I still have to save them to my drive. I still have to tag them all. There's so much that I'm just behind on all the time. There's so much more that I want to do. I want to start doing my little 5-minute wine classes that are going to be so wonderful and so informative, especially to those of you who didn't grow up with wine culture. There's so much to learn, and it's going to be so much fun. So starting now, I'm on my summer schedule. You all know, and I don't mean to be vulgar, but most of you who know me well know that I prefer a naked Friday. Now, that doesn't mean you actually have to be naked. It just means you could be, because your responsibilities are so low that it doesn't matter if you get dressed that day. So, I will be observing a long weekend. Doing things on Saturdays means I can't go away on the weekends, and we have such a very short summer season here in New York. You got to get out while the getting is good. And since we're going to be back on quarantine, I'm sure, in the next few weeks, get out while you can. Get a little fresh air, I say. So anyway, I'm going to be observing that. So we'll be live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But then, as we move forward, I'm going to have little special things that will be released. They won't be live, but I'm going to be releasing them here, releasing them on Instagram. My Instagram is Decanted Diva, if you want to go and follow me there. So we're trying to get it all together. This is a new thing for me, but I've had so much fun, and you guys make it so worthwhile. And I look forward to bringing my actual expertise to you, because I'm just learning how to cook here. Imagine if I started talking about things I actually know something about. So anyway, guys, I love you all. I hope everybody is as excited as I am for Hamilton tomorrow. And read up. Learn what you don't know about Hamilton, about Aaron Burr, about all that stuff that you're going to do. Read and know ahead of time so that you don't say, what were they saying there? Learn your stories. I love you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday.